What's up, y'all? We're back with another episode of the X Factor Fantasy Football League, where y'all better show up today to listen to this pod because I am about to be the reigning number one seed in our league. I know y'all wanted me to host this show today so that I could make sure to set y'all straight because I just looked up on Facts and Stats. Where are these people that were going to come on this podcast? I want to hear from Facts and Stats. I forget what his name was. My bad.
No.
Yeah. What about I'll skull crush you? Who is that?
Who's that, Jordan? Who's she talking about?
Someone named I'll skull crush you in our league. I want them to come on here.
I just focus on my team. I don't know who
No, just you say. I'm just what you say. What did Byron say? I'm just focusing on one game at a time. One game at a time, Jordan.
Well, Jordan, I do have good news for you. I want to welcome you to the We Both Beat Swipa championship league over here.
Yes, I also, I got it done. Still have Kenneth Walker to go tonight, but unless he somehow gets negative 2.5 points or something, I think I'll be okay. Crazier things have happened though, so again, I'm not until that matchup is done. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you've been in a couple of these like close ones, huh?
Yeah,
First off, nobody care about all that. I'm about to mute both of y'all. Listen. So, talk about this. All right. I got Saquon and Cooper Kupp coming back next week. I'm tired of y'all talking, especially Jenna. Jenna been gloating. Jenna been talking more than anybody, bro. Jenna and her draft strategy she had has worked out really well for you. I'll just say that. It worked out really well. And I support you. I support my sister. Your team is nice. I'm not even going to hold you. 4-0 in the league. And then she was the one that was the least confident coming in. So,
yep,
that's a big deal.
I only talk directly to Swipa, though, not in the chat, just so that there's no receipts. Nobody else can see in case I do talk too much mess. Because I do have a feeling I will lose like on the back end of these games. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for forever. But so far, it's definitely been a good season for me. I didn't pay attention in my other league on week 1. That was the only game I've lost there, too. So tell me who your best performer was this week 3, or week 4, excuse me.
It's Puka again. I mean, at this point, I don't care if Cooper Kupp comes back, Jerry Rice, AB. I don't care who's on the team.
He's tripping.
he's gonna play.
I'm gonna trade him. Trade him now.
Nah, because even if he falls, he's not gonna fall to a 2. At the absolute worst he would ever be is a pencil in no brainer flex. So, I would only trade him for, if I had issues elsewhere, but I don't really have any other issues elsewhere. If you guys are lucky, Chubb is not healthy. My team, this team would be borderline unstoppable if Chubb was healthy, but we're pretty damn good even without him. So hopefully he gets healthy. But yeah, Puga this week. I watched that game because I had a vested interest in it. And he finally scored his first touchdown. It's amazing he was doing what he was doing the first few weeks without a touchdown. He's got the most this for a receiver in his first 4 weeks, the most that for a receiver in his first 4 weeks. He's just on a crazy pace. And even if it drops off significantly, when Cooper Kupp comes back, he's still going to be a pencil in, start it every week kind of guy. So excited about Puka.
Yeah. And then on top of that, this is Alvin Kamara's first week back. Alvin Kamara is RB. He's played. Matter of fact, let me be clear. He's RB9 on the week, which for his first week back, and then he had 13 receptions. Derek Carr literally was just dumping the ball off to him.
Line. He had like 13 receptions for 17 yards or something. not quite far off that. Probably like 30-something yards actually, but like
it was 33 receiving yards, 51 rush yards.
That's insane. 13
That's
receptions.
Volume. That's crazy volume.
I'll take the volume. So I would expect it's going to be quite kind of like that though. Even if it's not 13 for 33, it'll be 50 or 60 rushing yards, and then he'll have 6 catches for 40, 50 yards, and he's going to be a starter. So,
well, I'm trying to think. So this year, the consensus one overall was Christian McCaffrey. The last year, it was Jonathan Taylor. The year before, it was Christian McCaffrey. And then the year before that, I think it might have been Saquon Barkley, if I remember correctly.
Something like that.
This is the first year that I think you could have got consensus one overall, and he's played consensus one overall football in the last 5 years. Christian McCaffrey had 48.7 points this last weekend, 106 rushing yards, 71 reception yards, 7 receptions, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 1 receiving touchdown so far, bro. Like, he has just been incredible. And honestly, I don't know what the Carolina Panthers were thinking giving him away to the San Francisco 49ers backfield, bro. Like, he's been monster.
It's been crazy. I just stay healthy. Just it's never a question of performance. Just stay healthy. That's it.
Yeah, I was
Right.
just talking about this earlier today with Matt Moore, actually, Swipa, but he was saying, like, he feels like he actually feels like the players and the teams who are playing well at the beginning of the season, now that the season is that extra week longer, it actually does affect kind of like the NBA season, right? Like, you want to be healthy at the right time. And like, it's great when
Right.
Christian McCaffrey's numbers were wild, out of this world. I mean, we also had Derrick Henry had a really good weekend. A lot of running backs, a lot of wide receivers.
Devon, Isaiah Pacheco, Kyron Williams, David Montgomery had another great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Montgomery, 121 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 runs. Man, come on,
and
bro.
lots of multiple TDs. Multiple TDs for Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Montgomery, like lots of multiple TDs for these guys. So big production week. And lucky for me, remember how I'm number 1? I'm about to be number 1. Y'all remember that, right? Just talked about it. So I scored 180 points this week, all because of the multiple touchdowns. Montgomery, Derrick Henry, and Herbert all gave me multiple TDs this week. AJ Brown. So I had a couple guys like it was honestly, I'm a little bit worried it's a fluke, but it's all right. We're number 1 right now. We're solid.
I'm so sick that I did not get Nico Collins in any league, bro. Because I told you Jordan and Jenna before the league coming into it, bro. 7 receptions for 168 and 2 TDs, bro.
He's a 2.
He wide receiver 3 on the weekend. And yeah, fantasy football is going crazy right now. If me and you drafted Joe Burrow has scored you a total. I don't think Joe Burrow has scored me over 40 points over the whole year so far.
Been crazy.
So, yeah, that's sunk my team. Like, that is actually something like sunk my team.
Yeah, it was doomed from training camp. Looking back, even if he would have sat, obviously if he's sitting, have him. But it was cooked from training camp. So hopefully he can do like top 12 play for the rest of the season, but it's not looking too good right now.
He was one of those guys I wasn't sure who to start, Kirk or Joe. Not that Kirk is the obvious answer, but like I thought Joey B was in a good position this last week to actually potentially kind of break out. They actually ended up being pretty even, like their performance this week. So I didn't feel too bad about it, but I would have been gutted had Kirk had another 40-point, 30-point week and I had Joe Burrow on my starting QB. I don't think I can start him anymore. Is he on the chopping block? Are you guys trading him, Joe Burrow, at this point?
You can't trade Joe Burrow right now because you won't get the value for him, but then you can't really start him right now either, bro. So, I mean, at this point, I'm starting Russell Wilson. I'm starting Josh. Hey, Josh Dobbs. He's acting up. I might start Josh Dobbs.
I might at this point. It depends. I might consider cutting him. I'm not gonna lie. It's just
cutting.
Because you think about it.
If you drafted him in the 5th round, 6th round, there's no way you can get that value back though.
It's sunk cost. The principle of sunk cost. I mean, you paid it. It's gone. It's away.
I'd rather add Joe Burrow to a trade package than
or something like that. Yeah, but essentially what I'm saying is like, because you say, okay, if he bounces back, right, and returns to form, how many weeks before, and maybe cutting is a bit premature, but it's not that far off because like you think about it, how many weeks of play are you going to need to see before you're comfortable putting him back in the lineup? For me, it's 2, probably 2 or 3. Before I'm saying probably 2. 2 is probably the exact number where it's like, okay, I've seen him play well for 2 good weeks. I'm comfortable. He looks good. I'm going to put him back as my starter. But if he doesn't have another 2 weeks, a good week in the next 2 weeks, then you're waiting 2 weeks on top of that. That's 4 weeks. So, it starts to get dicey the later you get in the season. It's like, well, why am I keeping this dude if I'm gonna have to see sample size for me to put him back in the lineup, and he hasn't given me anything recently to show me that that's on the horizon. So you probably hold him at the very, very, very end of your bench for now. But if he's about the same or something like 10 to 13 points for the next 3 weeks, I'm dumping him. But you can hold for now.
He plays the Cardinals next week, so that's a good opportunity, right? Like you can't get a better option. Although the Cardinals kind of had a good game. What was that? It wasn't this week. Last
Cowboys,
week? Yeah, the Cowboys. So maybe the Cardinals come out and just decimate the Bengals. If that happens, I'm like, yeah, I'm with Jordan. Cut him. But if he should be able to do something against the Cardinals,
Y'all ain't
right?
loyal at all, bro. I feel bad for y'all people y'all in a relationship with. They
Yeah.
have three bad weeks, bro. Y'all like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not happy no more.
I think
Hold
with
on.
Joe, I think with Joe it's different because like there's no rushing upside. And so if he's just performing, he was always dicey to me at his draft position because to justify it, he was going to have to throw for very, very gaudy yards and touchdowns to justify because he averaged
Which he does.
Yeah, exactly. No rushing upside. But if he's not able to do that because he's compromised, then it's like,
bro, they can't throw past 10 yards.
Exactly.
Like, they don't have they don't even have the time. Like, did you see if you watch that game at all, Tennessee was just get in his face every single possession, bro. It made no sense. Like, how you got a quarterback with a calf injury like this, and you tell me you can't hold up at the line of scrimmage for 3, 4, 4 seconds? It's insane.
You tell me, who are you starting next week? CJ Stroud or Joe Burrow?
Oh, CJ Stroud, easy. That's not even a question.
Exactly.
But CJ Stroud is a QB1 so far this season.
Exactly. So it's like,
man, I could have got Tua, bro, in the 8th round, bro. Man, 9th round maybe for Tua, 10th round for Tua.
For Tua, yep. I still think, and that's the thing. Some people, I think somebody in our drafted him in 7th, in the 7th round, and we laughed at him. I still laugh at him because you could have got him later, but he's performing at obviously way above that level. But yeah, there are guys, as far as Joe is concerned, there are guys on the waiver wire who are multiple guys who are outperforming him.
Jordan, you actually picked up CJ Stroud like 3 seconds before I was going. Was it you or Wes?
Probably Wes.
Oh, it was Wes. Okay. I can't tell by everybody's username, but yeah, I was like, dang, I had gone into the app, to the Sleeper app. Shout out to the Sleeper app. Sponsor us. But yeah, I had gone in there and I was like, I'm gonna pick him up. He's looking so good right now. It's probably like third quarter-ish of that game. Like, I know he's out there available in multiple leagues. So like, do you think people should be looking at CJ, picking him up and starting him?
They play Atlanta next week too.
Yes, he's perfect, especially if you faded quarterback late in your draft. You might be shaky right now, depending on what name you ended up picking late in the draft because you wanted to build up other positions and wait late for quarterback. He's definitely a good secondary or primary option. I'm comfortable either way right now, especially given matchups. He's going to have an inevitable rookie game or two. But again, like I said last show, maybe not because he doesn't really look like a rookie right now. He has not thrown a single pick through 4 weeks as a rookie. His passer rating is over 100, I believe right now as a rookie through 4 games. He's doing it with yards. It's not like he's putting up dink and dunk, 180 yards, 200 yards. No, he's putting up real Pro Bowl caliber, top 10 caliber quarterback numbers. So I'm starting him, and I'm going to start him until he has 2 bad weeks in a row. That's kind of where I'm at with him at this point.
Well, apparently got 2 wide receiver ones, Nico and Tank Dell. So, man, that Texans offense came out of nowhere. I mean, I knew Nico was going to do something, but they got a bunch of people now. Damian Pierce had a good week last week, finally.
Exactly.
I like that Jordan sticks to it. If I'm cutting you, you have to have 2 bad weeks. If I'm keeping you, you have to have 2 good weeks.
Sample size.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my girlfriend we got 2 bad months. We done.
That's okay. Yeah. Stop trying to apply what we do in fantasy football to our personal lives. There can be separate boundaries. Yeah.
Depends. Some of it does though.
Swipa, you actually had your quarterback perform this week, Justin Fields. did all right this week. He actually was one of the better performers. Josh Allen at QB, obviously, we could talk about him. His performance was out of this world. Any other QBs that you guys really liked around the league this week?
Justin Herbert with a broken hand. Yeah, Justin Herbert with a broken left hand still went off. Anthony Richardson, back from concussion, went off. Lamar Jackson's playing really well right now. Yep. Look, listen, if you got a dual threat rushing quarterback right now outside of Justin Fields consistently this year, you feel really good. But I think the thing with Justin, he played versus the different Broncos. He should have won that game. They never should have lost that game. I have no idea what happened. The Broncos should be in the Caleb Williams talks. What happened?
Sean Payton cut his sleeves off. That's what happened.
That ain't why Jonathan Cooper, man. That you want to talk about Eberflus is like he might be one of the worst coaches in NFL, bro. Like the stuff that he was calling was outrageous. But yeah, Justin balled out, Lamar balled out. Justin Herbert, he's gonna have he fractured his finger on his left hand on Mac Crosby's face mask. So it's gonna be curious to see how they're gonna deal with that. But that's not a throwing hand, so really it doesn't matter. Just a matter about gripping the ball and making sure he can hold on to it. But yeah, man, I've got a few great performances as quarterbacks this week.
Yeah, Eckler can't get back soon enough with that injury, I mean, I guess, yes, like he could still throw it, but probably handoff would be a good option. Tonight we have Monday Night Football. Who are you starting for tonight's Monday Night Football slate?
Let's see.
Seahawks, Giants.
Yeah, I'm starting all my Hawks. I'm comfortable with Geno if I'm needed. Obviously if I need to still start a quarterback at this point, I'm starting him. Someone that's interesting to me is JSN. I feel like we keep waiting for him. He was a hot name coming into the season. Obviously, he came in. He was injured early, or later in camp, and he was in question for week 1. Some people drafted him in a position to where they wanted him to be their flex. Not really many people drafted him as a wide receiver 2, but to be their flex or their wide receiver 3. And I think if you did, you're still kind of iffy on what that pick's going to pan out to be. So he's a name that I have my eye on the fringe there. And then with the Giants, I mean, no one. To be honest, there's not really anybody that I'm comfortable with on the Giants. And that game's being played where?
It looks like it's
MetLife.
Or is it in Seattle? Because that
it's at MetLife.
Okay.
At New York.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if it's going to make a difference for me or not. No, not really, actually. It doesn't really make a difference for me. No, I think about it. Yeah, I'm starting all my normal Hawks except for JSN is iffy. And then I'm not starting anybody on the Giants whatsoever.
Swiper, you have Matt Breida. Are you starting him tonight?
No, I ain't starting Matt Breida either. I would have smoked Jordan if I would have played Khalil Herbert if I knew he was going to have the first good game of the season. But no, I'm not starting Matt Breida. I don't trust anybody in offense. I don't trust anybody until Saquon come back. Maybe their $40 million quarterback can do something tonight. But I just don't really love anything they're doing. Daniel Jones, I think he'll get better as the year goes on, but right now, you can't start him either. Darren Waller also is not having a good year, and then everybody projecting he can have a top 8 tight end year too. So, but maybe Darren Waller if you have to start a tight end.
Yeah, actually, the Giants are +2.5 underdogs at home in this game. So, I'd probably take the Seahawks against the spread. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about from week 3? Or I'm so sorry, week 4. I have week 3 written out on my paper here from last week.
Bye weeks start next week. So
yeah,
what's the strategy there?
Look ahead, plan.
Yeah.
I think that's why stacking wins if you can early in the season is important, because when bye weeks start, then it's like it can tilt matchups one way or the other. So, I'll go ahead, Jenna.
I said, did you say the Chargers bye week is next week?
I believe so.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
screwed
Josh
at quarterback. This might be my first loss
Mhm.
of the season right after I take number 1, you guys. Oh no.
I'm gonna be a game right there behind you, so hopefully it is.
No, Jordan. Just kidding. It's
But
okay.
yeah, I think strategy for that really comes from the buys. I mean, from the draft, I should say. I used to be a guy who, it, depending on the player, I might try to almost not throw a week because you try to win, but like stagger it so most of my buys fall in 1 week. And then just get it out the way. Take a schedule L. You know how the NBA is scheduled loss, basically 3 game in 4 nights or a second game in a row back to back. Do the same
Yeah.
fantasy. Just take the L, take my bye week L. Everybody's on bye. We're cool. And then we come right back and do what we do. But it's normally not how it works out because you're drafting position player, at value and all that. So just this is where the impact of a good bench comes into play. So I think that's the biggest lesson there. Try to have at least 1 or 2 good quality pieces on your bench, not only for injury but for buys. So I think that I think I'll be in good position because my bench is pretty good even with Chubb out.
Swiper, you got any thoughts on the bye week?
No, if you're in my position, you just gotta kind of chug away because you've been dealing with major injuries all year. So
What's your record right now? See, look at
1-3.
him blaming the injuries again. I thought a second ago it was because you didn't play
I
start the
mean,
right players.
Jordan, you asked me if I had Cooper Kupp and Saquon this week. I don't know. I mean, I'm down.
You got to give me Chubb. You got to give me Chubb.
I'll tell you,
You got to give me Chubb.
whatever Puka's giving you, put that on Cooper Kupp and Son. That's all I'm saying.
So, if I got to pick somebody up off our waiver wire for QB, Kenny Pickett, Mayfield. Pickett's probably out, but Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr's available. Josh Dobbs available. Who am I picking up this week?
Probably Dobbs. I'm not gonna lie, out of those names, like none of those other names.
Yeah, it might be a time to take a Dobbs gamble.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I also feel like look at the matchup, right? Like depending on the matchup, it's a 1 week I need, so I'm gonna have to look at see who everybody's playing.
Exactly.
All right. Well, are we ready to wrap up the show, Swipa, or what do you want to do? Because you told me to host, but then like 2 minutes in, we're like, no, let's talk about this. Remember that?
No, we're good. We're good. You did a great job, host.
I appreciate it. Swipa, your brain is all nuggets right now, huh?
It's me NBA Media Day, and it's been a while. It's been a doozy. And so we got more to do, Jenna, more to do.
For sure. Well, make sure you follow Swipa and all of the stuff he's putting out on the Nuggets and covering his first NBA Media Day. It was exciting to have you there. And
best dress, by the way. Jenna wore that. Show him the shirt,
me.
Jenna. Show him your shirt.
Maya Moore in the house. Supporting the W. We're it's the first day of NBA Media, and we already forgot the W's in the playoffs right now. Like, so sad.
Nobody forgot.
Nobody even knew. You can't forget something nobody even knew. So
first off, I got dubbed best dressed at NBA Media Day. I brought up Jenna's name out of respect.
Now it's out of respect, not because you've seen my shoes, right? Well, Jordan, do you have any projects people can follow you for?
I will give them to you once they come out. I have approximately 10 projects that will be out in the next month or so. So stay tuned.
All right. So we're going to have to stay tuned for Jordan's projects. You can follow me at Vita Viva Diva. Follow our X Factor Fantasy Football podcast right here on YouTube. And we'll see y'all on Wednesday.